Hello, welcome to yoga. My name is Kirsten. Let's go ahead and start standing today in Tadasana, mountain pose. So bring your feet maybe just a few inches apart, about hip width apart for good stability. Take a deep breath in, really fill up the chest, let the shoulders come up toward the ears, and then exhale, relax, drop the shoulders. Good, allow the eyes to close just for a moment, or soften the gaze, and start to tune into this standing posture. So mountain pose can feel like we're just standing here, but let's bring some attention to how we're actually intentionally standing. So lift all 10 toes off the mat, stretch those toes, and then plant them back down, really pressing into each toe, using each toe for stability and balance. And now also notice the weight in your feet balancing between the balls of your feet and your heels. So notice all the portions of the sole of your foot that are on the ground. Now imagine that the arches of the feet draw up just slightly, and that will bring some extra gripping and strength into the feet. Now imagine that the kneecaps slide up the legs just slightly. Bring some strength and stability into the legs. Good. Draw the belly button toward the spine, support the core. Give the shoulders a couple of rolls and draw the shoulder blades down the back. Come to stillness, palms face forward. Crown of the head grows nice and tall toward the ceiling. Lengthen the back of the neck. Good, and as you're ready, you can allow the eyes to flutter open. Now on your next inhale, bring your arms out to a T, and exhale, drop the arms back down by your sides. Inhale, arms out to a T, and exhale, drop the arms. Last time, arms out to a T, inhale, and exhale, arms back down. Now on the next inhale, the hands go right up past the ears, all the way up toward the ceiling. Look up toward the ceiling. And now dive forward, bowing forward, fold. Bring the hands to the shins and half lift. Look forward, flat back. And drop the head, forward, fold. Good, now slowly roll the spine, come all the way back up to stand. Good, hands past the ears once again, up toward the ceiling, looking up. And exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Hands to the shins, flat back, look forward. And exhale, fold. And stay here for a moment, breathing. Go and roll the spine, coming back up to stand. The head is the last to come up. Tadasana. Good. One more time. Hands up past the ears. Look up toward the ceiling and dive forward. Hands come to the shins, flat back. And forward fold. And breathe. And roll the spine all the way back up to stand, Tadasana. Good, taking a step forward and a step back, so a nice wide stance. Bend the front knee towards 90 degrees. And bring the arms all the way up toward the ceiling, warrior one. Turn the hips and the shoulders to face the front, the short edge of the mat, the bent knee. And now let's move with this warrior one. So on the inhale, we're going to drop the arms, straighten the leg, and exhale, come back into warrior one. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, warrior one. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, warrior one, and hold. Good, open the arms front and back, turning to warrior two. So gaze is over the front fingertips, bending that knee towards 90 degrees. And now let's move with the breath. So inhale, coming up, straightening the front leg, and exhale, warrior two. Inhale, coming up, maybe looking up toward the ceiling, and exhale, warrior two. Inhale, up, and exhale, down and hold. Drawing in on the navel, drawing the shoulder blades back and down. Gaze over the front fingertips. Bend that knee towards 90 degrees. Good job. And release the arms. Straighten the legs. Turn all the way around to face the other direction. So toes face toward the left or the back edge of the mat. And we'll do that on the other side. So swoop the arms forward and up. Warrior one. And moving with the breath. Inhale, drop the arms, straighten the leg. And exhale, warrior one. Inhale, up. And exhale, warrior one. One more, inhale, up. And exhale, warrior one, and hold. Good, opening the arms to warrior two and moving with the breath. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, warrior two. Inhale up, and exhale, down. Inhale up, and exhale down, and hold. Really dropping into that front knee, maybe widening the stance if you need to. Breathing. Good, and release the arms. Now turn both of the feet out. Bring the arms out to a T. And now bend both the knees and the elbows. Goddess pose. Beautiful. Release the arms and legs and heel toe. Walk the feet in together. Tadasana, mountain pose. And let's reset. Nice deep breath in through the nose and out. Good. Now take a little bit of a wide stance, not super wide, just a little bit wider than hip width. And we'll go into a full body sway, kind of shake that out a little bit. So just start to move your body weight from left to right, allowing that opposite heel to come up. So coming up on the toe as you move. And then allow the arms to come into it. So starting to sway the arms. And breathe. Good, and come back to stillness. Now step all the way to the top of the mat. We'll do some sun salutations. So inhale, arms come up overhead. And exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step the feet back to a plank, and lower all the way down to the mat. Press with the hands coming up to cobra and release back down to the mat. Tuck the toes, come up on the knees, and then lift the hips all the way up and back. Downward facing dog. 5 rounds of breath here. Good, and stepping forward. Inhale, flat back, half lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, roll the spine all the way up to stand. Head is the last thing to come up, Tadasana. And again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back to plank. And exhale, lower all the way down to the mat, Chaturanga. Pressing up to Cobra, inhale. And exhale, release back down. Tuck the toes, inhale. Press up to the knees. And exhale, downward facing dog. We nod the head yes, shake the head no, release the neck. Press the weight into the heels. Good, step the feet forward to meet the hands. Flat back. And forward fold. And roll the spine all the way up to stand. Tadasana. Sun Salutation B. So bend the knees, sit back into a chair pose, and hold. Good, drop the hands to the floor, forward fold. Hands to shins, flat back, look forward. And exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back to a plank. And lower, knees, chest, chin, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra. And exhale, back down. Tuck the toes. Press all the way up to downward facing dog. Now this time stepping forward with the right foot. Plant the left to 45 degrees and come up to warrior one. Good. Drop the hands to frame the front foot, step back to a plank, and lower, knees, chest, chin, Chaturanga. Press up to Cobra, and come all the way back down to the mat. Tuck the toes, and press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step forward with the left foot, warrior one on the other side. Drop the hands, step back to a plank, and lower, Chaturanga, Cobra, and release. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog, 5 rounds of breath. Good. Walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Bend the knees deeply, come into a chair pose. And straighten the legs. Drop the arms, Tadasana, mountain pose. Excellent. Stepping back to the middle of the mat. Let's take a moment to recenter. Mountain pose. Nice deep breath. Arms come all the way up toward the ceiling. And exhale, arms back, down by the sides. Excellent. Taking a wide stance this time. We're going to come into a triangle pose. So arms face forward and back. Kick the hips back just a little bit and start to reach forward with the right arm. And windmill the arms down into triangle Trikonasana. Good. Coming back up and bending that front knee into a warrior two. and hold. Go drop the arms for a minute, straighten both legs, turn the toes out, bring the arms to a T, bend the knees and the elbows, goddess pose. Good, and triangle on the other side, so turning the toes to face the left side of the mat, straight legs, arms come to front and back, kick the hips back and reach forward, and windmill down into triangle. Good, coming back up, warrior two. Good, drop the arms, straighten both legs. This time, turn the toes in, heels out, nice, really wide stance. Hands can come to the hips. Inhale, open the chest, look up toward the ceiling. And exhale, hinge forward, wide-legged forward fold. You can reach toward the floor or keep the hands on the hips. Good, now bring the hands back to the hips if they're not already, and slowly start to rise up to a stand. Let the head come up last so we don't get dizzy. Excellent, and heel toe, walk the feet back together to the center. Drop the hands, Tadasana. Nice deep breath, arms up overhead. And exhale, arms back by the sides. Good. Let's move into our balance. So we'll do a tree balance. So start to bring the weight into the left foot, bringing the right foot to a kickstand against the left ankle, or you can start to raise the foot up to wherever is comfortable on the leg. Just don't put any pressure on that knee joint. And then you can bring the arms out to a T or maybe up in the air like branches. Maybe bring the palms together. Find a comfortable arm position for your tree. Draw the tailbone in toward the spine. Nice support in the core will help with balance. And pick a drishti, an unmoving point to focus on. And keep breathing. And release the arms, release the leg, maybe shake that out, roll the ankle, whatever you need to do. And we will switch sides. So weight comes into the right foot, kickstand the left, or start to bring it up the leg for a nice balance. Arms come into the position you choose today. And release the arms, release the legs, circle those ankles. Nice job. Good, now step all the way to the back of the mat. Feet come to about hip width. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, dive forward. Now plant the hands on the mat and start to walk the hands all the way out to downward facing dog. Now shift the weight into the left foot. Raise the right leg up in the air. Three-legged dog. Pointing that toe up toward the ceiling. Keep the hips square to the floor. So nice straight legs. Good. Now start to bend that right knee, bringing the knee toward the nose, stepping forward between the hands. Come up on the back toe and swoop the arms forward and up, high lunge. Good, now open the arms and start to look to the right. So a nice twist, looking over the right shoulder. And come back up to high lunge. And drop the hands to frame the foot. Step all the way back, downward facing dog. Shift the weight into the right foot, lifting the left leg up in the air, three-legged dog. And starting to bend the left knee, draw that left foot forward between the hands, come up on the right toe, and swoop the arms forward and up, high lunge. Good, twisting to the left, opening the arms forward and back, looking over the left shoulder. And come back to a high lunge. And drop the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Now drop the knees, walk the knees as wide as the mat, bring the big toes together, press the hips back, child pose. Coming back up to hands and knees, tuck the toes and press the hips up and downward facing dog again. Shift the weight into the left leg, raising the right leg, three-legged dog. Now this time open three-legged dog, so bend that right leg, start to open the hips to the right. And straighten the leg and draw the right foot between the hands. This time staying in a low lunge. You can stay right here in a runner's lunge or maybe walk the hands to the inside of the right knee for more like a lizard stretch. Good, now planting the left hand nice and solid on the ground, we're going to raise the right arm up, lunge twist. Now drop the right arm back down to the mat and step that right foot all the way back to downward facing dog. And we'll do the other side. So shift the weight to the right foot, lift the left leg in the air, three-legged dog. And bend the left leg, open the hips to the left. And straighten the left leg and draw the left foot forward between the hands. Runner's lunge or lizard stretch. And plant the right hand on the floor and lift the left arm up toward the ceiling. Lunge twist. And drop the right hand to the mat, step the left foot back, downward facing dog. And drop the knees to the mat, walk the knees nice and wide, big toes together, hips back, drop the forehead, child pose. Now come back up, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Shift the weight into the left foot, raising the right, three-legged dog. Bend the right knee, open the hips. And we're going to go into a little bit more of an advanced version of this, so please stay here if this is working for you. Otherwise, we'll go into a wild thing. So what we're going to do is let that right foot keep going. Lead that right foot behind you. Allow the right arm to come up off the floor until the right foot hits the floor and the right arm is up kind of above your head, wild thing. Good, and come all the way back to three-legged dog and plant that right foot back on the floor, downward facing dog. All right, let's take a child pose break. That was kind of intense. Walk the knees nice and wide, press the hips back, child pose. Come back up to tabletop, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, and we'll do the other side. So weight into the right foot, lift the left, three-legged dog. Good, bend the knee, open the hips to the left. And now stay here if you like. Do not hurt yourself, but if you want to move into wild thing, let that left foot keep going. I'm gonna run into my wall a little bit here. There we go. Wild thing. Good. And flip back around, three-legged dog, downward dog, and drop the knees, child pose, and rest. And come back up to hands and knees, tabletop. Now walk the hands forward. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So come to lie all the way down on the mat, up on the elbows. Draw the shoulders back and down away from the ears. Gazes forward like a Sphinx. Good. Now release the hands. Drop the right cheek to the mat. Arms come by the sides. Rest. And come back up. We're going to go into Superman. So arms come up overhead, legs come up off the ground. Nice strong back. Superman. And breathe and breathe and breathe. And release. This time left cheek comes to rest on the mat. Good. Use the hands to press all the way up into a tabletop. And then we're going to sit all the way back on the heels. Hero pose. So just take a moment in hero pose to settle in. We've done a lot of work, really active practice so far. So maybe bring the shoulders up to the ears, roll them back and down, really create space. Maybe rock the head back and forth a little bit. Do whatever you need to do to kind of settle in, release the tension from all that work we've been doing. All right, we're gonna do some alternate nostril breathing. So this breathing technique or pranayama is great for clearing the sinuses and balancing the emotions. So what we're gonna do is bring the first two fingers together, the thumb sticking out to one side and the ring finger and pinky out to the other side. The first two fingers are gonna come right between the eyebrows, so right around the third eye area. And we're going to use the ring finger to block the left nostril as we inhale through the right. And then we're going to switch. So use the thumb to block the right nostril, let go with the left nostril, and exhale left. Stay where you are with the hand. Inhale left. And then switch fingers, close the left nostril, exhale right. Leave the hand where it is, inhale right. Switch the fingers and exhale left. Stay, inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch, exhale left. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. And stay with this pattern. One more each side. And release the hand. And just breathe normally. Good. As you're ready, make your way into a seated position with the legs straight in front of you. So staff pose. And we'll just pause here in staff pose. So bring the hands on either side of the seat onto the floor. Crown of the head grows nice and tall. Feet in a standing leg position as if they're standing on that opposite wall. Draw those kneecaps up the legs. Draw those arches up like we did in the beginning when we were standing. Good. Now take the hands and walk them down the legs. Start to come into a forward bend. So reaching for the ankles, the shins, maybe even reaching for the big toes. And dropping the nose toward the knees. Good. Come up about halfway. Hi, Maggie May. And see if you can reach the hands just a little bit further down, maybe reaching for the ankles if you were on the shins, or maybe reaching for the bottoms of the feet if you were on the toes. And on the next exhale, bowing again, forward fold. And walk the hands up the legs, come back up to a seat. Now we'll bend the left knee, bringing that left foot to the inside of the right thigh, and single leg forward fold. Walk the hands up the leg, come back up to a seat. Take that same bent knee, draw the knee up, plant the foot on the mat nice and close to the straight leg. Hug that knee into the chest and twist over the left shoulder. Now if this is too much on the lower back or the belly, you can just twist the opposite direction. Open twist is fine too. So pick a direction and twist. And as we twist with each inhale, we're going to imagine the crown of the head grows taller. And each exhale, sink into the twist a little deeper. Good, and come back to face forward. Straighten that left leg. Bend the right knee. Right foot comes to the inside of the straight leg. And walk the hands down the leg, single leg forward fold. Good, come back up to seat. Draw that right knee up and twist. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale, twist a little more. Good, come back to face forward. Straighten that right leg. Let's do one final forward fold. Both legs are reaching for those toes, bottoms of the feet. Maybe we're going a little bit farther than the last time. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, nose to knees. And come back up to a seat. Now bend both legs. We're going to come into a butterfly. So bring the soles of the feet together. Hang on to those feet. You can use the elbows to press the knees down if you like. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, bow down, nose towards the toes. Come back up. Now crossing the right foot in front of the left. Start to walk the hands forward along the mat and bow the head toward the floor. And walk the hands, come back to a seat. And switching legs, put the left foot in front of the right. Walk the hands out along the mat and forward fold again. And walk the hands back up to a seat. Good, we're gonna do a little bit of meditation today before our final rest pose. So get comfortable in this seated position. If you like to rest the hands on the knees, that's fine. Another option is to bring the thumbs and the forefingers to touch. That signifies the self and the one or the greater universal power, kind of connecting there. So if you'd like to try this mudra with the hands, that's fine. Resting the hands on the knees. Allow the eyes to close or soften the gaze down towards the nose. Bring attention to the breath. So notice the breath coming in through the nostrils and going out through the nostrils. Allow the crown of the head to grow tall, the shoulders drop away from the ears. Following the breath on the inhale and the exhale. Traditionally, yoga was done not for exercise, but to ready the body for meditation. So the purpose of doing the poses and the work was so that the body would be relaxed and loose and comfortable to sit and meditate and connect with the universal consciousness or whatever power is out there. Keeping attention on the breath. Relax the muscles of the face. Soften the jaw. Drop the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Notice the breath filling up the lungs. Chest rises and falls with each inhale and exhale. Notice the temperature of the air in the room around you. Notice the quality of the air. Notice if the air is moving or still. Notice if the air feels dry or damp. Notice if you can smell anything on the air. Notice if you can hear anything. Notice the furthest away or quietest sound you can hear without needing to identify it, just listening. And notice the closest or loudest sound you can hear. Notice the feel of your seat sitting on the floor. Notice where your feet or legs come in contact with the floor. Notice the feel of your clothes against your skin. And come back to the breath, noticing the inhale and the exhale. Maybe relaxing the face again if it's regained some tension. And notice if any external thoughts are coming into your mind. Notice what they are. Notice that you are having a thought, and allow the thought to move along its way. Notice your consciousness, notice your awareness. So if you visualize your head, your face, where is your seat of thought and awareness? Is it in the forehead, right behind the eyes? Try to locate that awareness. And now once you've found your awareness, consciously try to draw it back and down. So bringing that awareness down toward the nape of the neck, the base of the skull. Dropping out of the thinking brain. And stay with this stillness and meditation. Noticing what you notice. Coming back to the breath. Good. Now you may stay in this meditative seated position if you like, or go ahead and move into lying on the floor for Shavasana, final rest. So lie back on your back. Legs can be straight along the mat, or maybe knees bent, knees knocked together. Arms by the sides, palms face up. Closing the eyes or softening the gaze and allowing the body to sink into its final rest. Starting to bring awareness back into the room. Starting to deepen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. Bringing some movement into the fingers and the toes. Rolling the wrists and the ankles. Maybe reaching the arms overhead for a big full body stretch. And in your own time, rolling over to one side or the other. And using the arms to press all the way up to a seat. Bring the palms together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. Balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain. Balance the emotions. Thank you so much for joining me for yoga today. Be well. Namaste.